Hello, party people. How are y'all doing? Man, it's so unfortunate. I tried to fix chat again, you know, for the YouTube bits, but it seems like chat replay still doesn't still doesn't work, right? I mean, let me just test. Yeah, that does not seem to show up. That sucks. I really thought it would work this time, but I guess there is nothing to do about it. Oh well. I hope y'all are doing good. Welcome Nukes and Frank and Bearded. It's good to see y'all. We missed you during the last one, Bearded. I mean, especially when we play Horizon, of course, but also just overall. But yeah, I get it. It's the weekday stream, so can't be as active anyway. Totally fair. Work is more important, unfortunately. You just focus on that more. But yeah, I'm trying to have a good day. Let's call it that. Man, things have been difficult. Let's be real. Like, you know, I like to be transparent and, you know, tell y'all that it's okay to struggle and have bad days and shit. But man, my bad days have been bad weeks. Excuse me. Ever since I've been back home, it's been fucking something. And I've probably been using alcohol to cope more than I should. Which is to say, it's a drug. Don't do that, guys. I'm not a good example for that, but I guess it runs in the family. Sorry, that's a bit of a dark joke, I guess. Anyway. I wanted to say real quick, man, I've been thinking about this for weeks, like making some community post or something, or mentioning it somewhere. It's probably not like a good place in my videos specifically. I mean, like, in my uploads, I try not to talk at all. I try not to make announcements, or, I mean, I don't even mention, like, my Patreon much, or the comment section, or future audios, or whatever, right? You know, like, when I do uploads, I only want that to be that content, be it, like, a sleep aid, or a comfort, or a more entertaining thing. Like, still, I feel like whatever my audios are, they're supposed to be a distraction from, like, negative things and whatnot. Even if it's, like, a comfort for depression thing. I want only that to be the content. I don't want to, like, talk about much else. So I was probably just gonna make a community post, but I figured, hey, I can also say something on stream. So, to anywho, that it might be... No, sorry, different phrasing. To anywho who made it I've forgotten English. This is not a good look. Anyone who it may concern. Fuck Trump. Fuck Putin. Fuck Netanyahu and his fucking genocide that's going on. If you think human rights are an opinion, fuck off. Like, we can have political differences as long as political opinions are like, should we invest more money in this thing or in that thing, as opposed to, do people deserve rights? That's kind of like, that's not an opinion, that's not debatable. So I just wanted to let that be known. You know, like, that's my stance. Anyone who doesn't think that people should have rights should probably dig a hole and not ever come out. 'Cause then you're not ready for civilization. You know. Anyway, don't want things to get too heavy, but I wanted to that to just be mentioned. so that there's not ever a question about my stance. Anyway, you guys are being very sweet in chat, so I appreciate that. Thank you for the offers and stuff. But yeah, you guys take good care of yourselves too, obviously. Things are difficult, especially when the weather gets darker, at least in some of the areas, some of the hemisphere. Like when the sun gets less, the mood plummets. No more vitamin D, no more happiness. Exactly, Frank. That is not a strange take. I don't think it's like, you know, it's also not like specifically praiseworthy. Like, I'm not saying this so that people go like, oh yeah, look at her speaking out. No, other people do way more politically. They are much more engaged and much more like activistic. Is that what you call it? No, they do much more activism. They are much more making sure that people get those human rights that they deserve. But just in case there's anyone who thinks that their hate or their bigotry or their literal like genocide or opinions thereof have any place in my community, in my space, on my videos, no, they don't. If you want to talk politics, like if you want to debate them, I mean, right now we're technically talking politics, but if you want to debate them, debate whether more money should be invested into this infrastructure or into that other thing or into youth programs, or whether we should get rid of this or that law that has nothing to do with human rights, because that is what politics should be. Not like, oh, should we let this group of people live? Should that group of people exist? Should this group of people get to choose their own bodily autonomy? No, that's not up for debate, bitch. That shouldn't be up for debate at all, ever. There's not like any specific incident that made me want to talk about this, to be fair. Like, I mean, sometimes you get weird people in the comments, but like the worst that I've had, like in comments talking like about opinions and politics and like stances on things, was like Christians telling me that I need to follow God, and people being weirdly passionate about the fact that I occasionally swear in my videos. And of course, like homophobes. Like, that's like been the most. When this one guy who told me I was sexist for doing female for female audios. That was very interesting. So it's not that specifically, it's just there's a lot of like bad stuff happening in the world, and I know I don't have the biggest reach. Like, you know, I'm not like a giant influencer who like when I upload a video that's gonna like make a giant difference, and when I talk about something that's gonna like get big publicity or whatever. But still, like with the little like influence I do have, I feel like I should still mention things that are important. I just try and not do it too often because, like, again, if my channel becomes like a place where I'm always talking about all the bad things and all the, I mean, technically important things, because like bringing attention to painful stuff is still important, because like if painful stuff is happening, obviously that needs to be talked about and that needs to be dealt with. But if I do that too much, then my channel becomes no longer a safe space for people. And that is still like that is the purpose of my channel. If I wanted to just do activism, I would try and do something dedicated to that. But because I know I don't have the capacity for it, like emotionally, mentally, I won't be doing that. And my voice acting, what could I even do? What, make roleplay audios about human rights? I don't know. I can't really imagine how that would work. But, you know, my channel is supposed to be, for people to kind of forget about their stresses, to get some comfort, to get some help with their mental problems or their sleep issues or whatever. And if not that, to get some entertainment, you know, to get to delve into a story that lets them forget about their own life a little. And then I have like fantasy role plays or like some more emotional role plays for people to immerse themselves. That's kind of like what it's all about, right? So yeah, I'm trying to find a balance, and I haven't so far been very brave to talk about stuff because I've worried about like losing I guess my audience for like with the purpose of what I actually want to do with my channel, while still being passionate about the things I'm passionate about. But I figured on stream I can mention it at least, because that's just more of a passion thing anyway. That's, you know, the streams don't have as much to do with my audios and more to do with me as a person. So yeah. Anyway, thank you both for the offers to talk, of course. I appreciate that. Sorry, Frank, earlier you said that's a bit weird. I didn't expect your content to attract that sort of crowd. Do you mean Christian people? Because I know I mentioned that. Do you mean sexist people? Or do you mean homophobic people? Because other than those three, I can't think of anything. Let me know what we were talking about right then, because I missed your chat. Because I was distracted by myself talking, I guess, which sounds so bad. But yeah, so thank you. I appreciate it. I'm glad to hear that my channel does what it's supposed to do. All of the above. Oh gosh, yeah, it's interesting. I mean, the bigger of a reach you have, the more strange people you're gonna meet. But I mean, overall, the like great majority of my community is very kind and very understanding and very sweet. And then obviously the outliers you notice the most. I mean, I've had one strange email of someone like sending me a quote-unquote script. It wasn't really, but it was a dialogue that they wanted me to perform in an audio, and it was very clearly a kink. Like, it was very clearly the specific like fetish. So that was like the first strange encounter. Sometime after that, I think I had this person who was like really, really bothered by me swearing, which was funny enough on the your girlfriend accuses you of cheating, or something like that, the title would be, of that, on that audio, which obviously, you know, that's me playing a very emotional character and going like, oh my god, are you fucking cheating on me? You know, that kind of thing. Because obviously if that were the case, someone would be very emotional. And this person was so bothered by me swearing. They were like, how dare you do this? You know, you could have made such a good audio if you didn't swear. And I was just like, because at the point, I mean, I am very outspoken about my opinion if I have the energy to. So at that point I was still, because this was like a year or 3 ago, I was like, obviously this is a very emotional situation, like that I'm acting out, that I'm playing as. This is a role play, you do know that, right? And I was like the swearing is part of it. Why is this such a bad thing? And he's just like, it's morally wrong to swear. Like, he was telling me I'm a horrible person for swearing. That was the second weird person. And then since then, yeah, it's been 3 different like incidents I can think of. 2 of them were in my comments again. One guy got, like I said, got really passionate about men's rights, but only when other people's rights were mentioned. I think maybe this was on like an LGBTQ post I made, so maybe this was also just a homophobic person, but like I was like, hey, Pride Month, you know, happy Pride Month for everyone. And he got like really mad, and he was like, how dare you not make more men's audios. It's also like Men's Mental Health Month sometime in the year. I don't know when it was in like in regards to like when I made my post and when he sent his comment, not sent, but like made his comment. No, men's rights are important. The thing is just a lot of people bring it up only in response to other people's like movements, and then it's obvious that it's just being said to like push the attention away from, you know, the initial thing. And then it's like, why can you not advocate for your rights on your own? Why do you only do it to make other people's movements smaller? This is obviously done in hate and not actually for men's mental health, which does need to be talked about. Like suicide rates for men are way higher, and it's way less like socially okay for people to talk about for men to talk about their feelings, which is not okay. Men should be able to talk about their feelings and should be able to get help and should be able to be vulnerable, should be allowed to be vulnerable. But again, then it's mostly men standing in the way of that. The patriarchy has built that up in favor of men. Like, obviously, you don't want to have to hide your feelings. You don't want to, like, always be stone cold and strong, because that causes issues too. But the system that was, like, that kind of problem was built on is still in favor of men. And so then someone bringing up and going like, oh, you should talk about men more. You should do more audios about men and support them more. I'm like, sure, yeah, they deserve support, but why are you only bringing this up when we're talking about this other thing? That's kind of suspicious, is it not? Thank you, Bearded. And I think so too. I've made audios about men's mental health. And like, even when it's not a female for male audio, so female speaking, male listener audio, when my audios are for all listeners, like when they're gender neutral, my intended audience is men. Like, obviously it's also women and non-binary people and everyone else in between. But like, let's just be honest, let's be real. Like, my main audience statistically is men. And I know that it's mostly men listening to my audios. So I know that's, like, most likely to be a man behind the screen. So it's already, like, male-coded. Like, you know, it's kind of, you can't ever turn that off, kind of, like, unless I have a female for female audio, where I know, okay, the intended listener is a woman, this is a lesbian relationship, that's what's going on. Unless that specifically is in my head, I will always have, like, somewhere in the back of it, like, somewhere in my subconscious, like, the male default. So when I talk, for example, I mean, I have many mental health audios that are all like, hey, please talk about your feelings more, please be more honest, please ask for help more. Like, those types of audios, when I speak about stuff, it is unintentionally, like, talking more about, like, men's issues. Because, like, again, I mean, obviously, in general, people can be told from their childhood on, don't show feelings, don't cry, don't be emotional. But it's much more likely to happen to men. Women are more in tune with their emotions and are less likely to be reprimanded for showing emotions. So anytime an audio like that goes online, like, I just have in my head the male default. So it's so hilarious for someone to go and be like, oh my god, you should be doing more for men. Anyway, hi Jesse. Sorry, I have to catch up with chat because I wasn't looking at chat during this rant at all. Hope you're doing good. Yeah, and female for, yeah, it's like tagging wise, I know that, that it helps to have like gender specific, because okay, if you identify as a woman and you want a female speaker, you're going to look up female for female stuff, obviously, because that is less common. But also if you're a man and you know about ASMR audio and stuff, if you're looking up girlfriend audio, you will also, if you do look for tags, you will go for the female for male one, not necessarily for the female for all one, because you identify as a male. Anyone who doesn't end up listening to this is like, no, I don't. But if you are, like, if you do identify as male, then you are more likely to be looking for the female for male tag. So the F4M tag, then the F4A tag, because you don't identify as all. Obviously, if you see an audio that you think is interesting and you see the F4A tag, so the female for all tag, you're like, oh yeah, I can listen to this. But most people are not going to be like looking that up in the search bar, because they're like, well, what is my gender? What do I identify as? Okay, I'm going to put that in. As opposed to, yeah, okay, I'll listen to a gender neutral one, even though I don't identify as gender neutral. Anyway, but yeah, so it's better for the tags technically to have something specific. Technically, I guess if I have the female for all one, I could also add somewhere both the gendered versions, but then like maybe someone thinks it is gendered and then that causes confusion, so I don't. But yeah, anyway. So yeah. Anyway, now we've talked about the one guy a bit. And hey, I'm glad to hear that you go for the female for all. Like that makes you an outlier technically, but yeah, that's cool. I like that. And also, like, I mean, obviously you guys are also allowed to listen to the female for female audios. Totally. Like, as long as it doesn't cause you any, like, unhappiness to be referred to as the female part in the audio, that's not, like, that doesn't technically exclude you. It's just not, like, you know, fitted to your identity. And, like, most of the content's still gonna work, right? You know? But yeah, anyway, that one guy, really, really passionate about how apparently I've made too many female-specific audios as opposed to male-specific audios. And then the only other two, like, weird interactions I've had... Wait, which was one of them? Oh, right, the Christians. Some of them mean well. But if they mean well, they usually don't mention that they... Okay, let's put this for religions in general, but especially Christians are very outspoken. Like, if I filtered for all the different religions in my comment sections, I would really only have people talking about Christianity. Because the other religions aren't very outspoken about stuff, in at least on my videos, maybe in my language, whatever. But yeah, so Christians. Some of them, again, just kind of mention like, oh yeah, I'm Christian. I like God. Maybe you like God too. Those are totally chill. I've only gotten one or two comments like that. And I'm just like, okay, this has nothing at all to do with my audio. But sure, okay. You're being respectful. Whatever. And then others are like, my God is the only God. You have to follow God or else you go to hell. Especially on my LGBTQ audios. That happens, and then I'm like, okay, you're an asshat and you're getting deleted. Because who do you think you are telling other people they're going to your hell? Shush. I don't believe in your God. And if you think that your God, while being so kind and nice and great, literally damns people to eternal suffering because they love the same gender, then maybe your God is a shithead. Maybe consider that. Anyway, we've had those. And then the worst kind are the ones that are actively like just so disrespectful, so unhappy with their life and everybody else's life, and do not want you to live your life at all in any capacity, and are telling you there's only this one way, and otherwise you are a bad person, and again, you're going to hell, and you're horrible, and I'm gonna kill you because you're not listening to my God, and whatever fucking else. Fanatics. Let's call them fanatics. That happens? Oh my god, the dude that had a problem with you wishing me a happy Wednesday. He hasn't been in the he was a viewer for a while, and he was a commenter for a while, and he was occasionally noticed for saying weird things. Like, just either very, like, strange random things, which is just like, okay, I don't get this, whatever. And either I would ask him to explain, and then he's just like, whatever, it's random, okay, sure. But then he would also get a little inappropriate, like, especially on stream. Like, at the very end of stream, when I can't moderate anymore, because I'm literally quitting stream, like, I'm finishing it up, I'm ending stream, and then he would, like, say something inappropriate, like, or sexual, or just plain offensive. Like, not to me, just, like, generally. Like, kind of imagine just someone randomly throwing the N-word in there for no reason other than to be offensive. Like, there was that kind of guy. Kind of strange is still okay. Like, I can accept kind of strange, but rude is just, well, that's not nice. And then then an actual I, at one point, I warned him and I was like, hey, you can't be saying rude or offensive or sexual and weird, like, uncomfortable things at the very end of stream, just knowing that then, like, I can't address that anymore. Like, I'm finishing up, and then the only thing I can do is delete the comment, but it's already happened. And the stream has ended, so I also can't say in that very same recording, hey, that wasn't nice of you to say, please stop that. I can't respond to it. And after I mentioned that, he was like, yeah, I get it, it's totally fine. And then at one point on a video, Bearded was like, oh yeah, upload, happy Wednesday, thanks for the audio, this and that. This was when I was still doing Wednesday uploads. And then the guy was like, it's 9/11 today, how dare you say happy Wednesday? Which is like, huh? Like, I get being upset and or passionate about 9/11 as an American. But literally going on random comments that don't even mention it in any way, just are trying to spread positivity. Not about this specific day. It wasn't like Bearded went and said, even though it's 9/11 today, happy Wednesday. No, he didn't mention it at all. And anyone who's not American probably wouldn't be specifically thinking, oh, it's 9/11 today, gotta pay my respects, or gotta be mindful of this, or whatever. And even though it is 9/11, like, even though it is, like, the anniversary of a tragedy, like, you don't need to be in mourning all day. You don't need to be, like this interaction, I kind of imagined, like, you being at work and laughing at a joke somebody made, and then that guy comes up and is like, how dare you laugh, it's 9/11 today. And it's like, are you trying to ban all happiness, all positivity, because this is, like, a day of mourning for you? Like, that's so preposterous, that's so strange. Anyway, so that was another weird comment that I'd totally forgotten about when I was talking about these. And then the very last one that came to mind, because actually this guy messaged me again like 2 days ago. This is an Instagram DM that I've gotten. Which I'll just read that, I guess. Kind of, just so I don't forget the context. But this guy, like, many months ago, maybe a year or two ago, he's replied. Anyway, yeah, so a year and a half ago, he texted me, hey, I'm this guy, this is my age, I'm a big fan of yours. I was wondering if we could be friends on the phone. I feel lonely a lot and I'd be happy if we could be friends. Please text me when you're free. And I was just like, okay, you know, someone wants to be friends. That's like very forward, but I get, you know, I mean, they literally mentioned they're lonely. So I'm just like, hey there, I'm sorry if you feel lonely. We can just chat a little and see how we click if you'd like. You know, because obviously I can't make anyone a promise of like being close, like emotionally, if I don't know what kind of person they are at all. He's like, okay, we be friends on the phone and act out stories with texts? Please text me when you're free. Again, just like really urging me to message like as soon as possible, like not giving me any time to respond at all. And then he's like, can I call you tonight? And then he sends me his number. I don't even know the area code. I don't know like which country this is. Anyway, this is my number. If you want it, you can text me there. I'm again mentioning his age, and I'm a big fan of yours too. What do you mean too? Anyway, and I was just like, no, sorry, I wouldn't like to go on phone calls with you if I don't know you, and I especially don't have any time at the moment. Like, because I was just feeling really stressed by this guy going, text me when you're free. You know, like right now, text me. Go on. Also, what do you mean with acting out stories? Do you mean roleplay? And he's like, yeah, roleplay. I just want to be friends with an ASMR girl I like, and I've tried all my favorites and they turn me down. Already. Like, if you're genuinely trying to be friends with someone, I guess this is an okay thing to say, but I know that he doesn't. We'll get back to that in a bit. But if you're trying to flirt with someone, do not tell them that you've already texted so many other people trying to flirt with them and they've all turned you down. Like, that's not a good look. It's like, hey, you're my 40th choice. Everyone else has turned me down, but hey, I'm here now. You know, like, that's one... Yeah, that's exactly... Like, it's realistic to not be the first choice of someone, but you shouldn't tell them that to their face. Like, it's kind of, you know, it's not gonna go over well either way. Totally, I was last on the list, yeah. Imagine. Apparently not, because he's still been texting me over a year later, but we'll get back to that in a second as well. Anyway. And he was like, yes, roleplay, I just want to be friends with an ASMR girl. I tried all my favorite. I don't want anything romantic, I just want a friend. Will you be friends with me? And then, next day, he's like, Cinnamon, are you there? Because I didn't dare respond same day. Which is hilarious, because sometimes I take a week to respond to people, so whatever. Again, day after that, so it's been 2 days since I've responded. He's like, can you be friends with me? Please text me when you're free. And at that point, I just said, like, you're pretty demanding for a stranger. You do realize, right? And he's like, sorry, I don't mean to be demanding. I just want to be friends with an ASMR girl I like, and you're my top favorites. Liar! You said that you texted all your favorites and they turned you down. You little liar. He's already not being honest with me. How dare you? You know, this friendship can't be built on that. Anyway, I just don't want to feel so lonely anymore. So I feel like this guy genuinely has issues, which is sad. Which is sad. But then please go to therapy, deal with your issues, and then try and make connections and friends in a regular way and not in this way, because it gets worse. He says, I want to have a girl to talk to and pretend to cuddle with when I'm lonely. And I'm like, why a girl if it's just French? Friends. Like, if you just want to make friends, why does the gender matter? Honestly. He's like, because I've never had a girlfriend and I always want to. And I'm thinking, like, well, that doesn't sound like friends, does it? Anyway, next day he goes on, can I call you on voice call tonight? Please text me when you're free. So this guy is absolutely not, like, respecting boundaries, because I already told him I don't want to be on a call with someone I don't know. And also, he's demanding my attention, full on. Like, he's saying, hey, come on, you're taking too long to respond. Text me when you're free. I don't want to have to wait. Like, there's no, like, understanding at all. He just keeps saying, please text me when you're free. And then in response to the girlfriend thing, like, because he said he's never had a girlfriend and he always wanted to. I'm like, so it is meant to be romantic. And then I said to the voice call thing, no, I've told you I won't be doing any calls with you. And then guilt-tripping Allie, he's like, sorry, context for this. I have in my description on Instagram, let me quote it. Back again. Is this the... Have I changed my description? I don't know. Okay, but right now my description on Instagram is back again with my voice and the intent to comfort, relax, or entertain. This is since it's my second Instagram account. Remember you're never alone, message for help, or maybe just a friendly chat. And maybe at one point I mentioned, like, if you're lonely or whatever, like, shoot me a message. Like, if you need help, that kind of thing. And then he says, same day, sorry, I just don't want to be lonely. YouTube. Okay, hang on. Let me go to my YouTube description because he mentions that actually. Huh. Maybe it was for a specific video because it's not in my general description. Oh, sorry. That's a stressful music. I'm gonna skip that. Oh, that's also... Okay, let's go with some night jazz. Whatever. Anyway. But yeah, so this guy was like, sorry, I don't want to be lonely. And you said on your YouTube page, you're here for those who don't want to be lonely. So that was just totally like, dude, like, yeah, but I don't mean that I'm gonna be, like, random people's, like, therapist just because they demand my attention. Or not even therapist. No, yeah, actually, because I don't mind giving people some, like, therapeutic advice. I don't mind trying to help people who are in a crisis. But this guy is just like, we have to be friends now. Go on a call with me. I don't care about your comfort levels. I don't care what you think about me. I want you to give me attention. And I'm so lonely. And you said you're going to help people who are lonely. Call me now. And also, oh yeah, I just want to be friends, but I've never had a girlfriend, so it needs to be a girl, because I want a girlfriend. That kind of thing. So yeah, that was something. It was something for sure. But yeah, so I've dealt with weird people like that. And now, over a year later, randomly, he's like, hey, are you free? Like, this is like something you say to a friend. Like, hey, are you free for a call? Are you free to meet up? Whatever. And this guy is just like... wanting my attention. And now today, when I saw that message and did not respond, he said, I don't want to be lonely. Cool. Anyway, if you are the person who sent me that and you are watching this stream, please look for help, for one. But also please recognize that no one is obligated to give you anything. And if you had asked for help in a different way, I would have been happy to give it. But I'm not gonna, I don't know, offer myself up as your virtual girlfriend just because you demanded. What do you think I am? Like, I'm still a person. I have my own feelings and boundaries and thoughts. And also, if someone declines to give you something, you should probably stop asking for it. Because people don't like people crossing their boundaries. Anyway. But yeah, so... Sorry, I'm having to catch up with chat and pop. Frank going in all caps, call me pretty lady, and then the angry emojis is taking me out. Yeah, that's about it. That's about fucking right. Yeah. But yeah, also, yeah, of course, having issues is an excuse to dump it on others. Even though I do always, I do always want to encourage people to reach out to others when they have problems. Obviously, you have to be, like, mindful of others, because you don't want to overwhelm them. And it's also not fair to strangers when you don't know what's going on in their life at all. Like with friends and family, you can kind of tell what they've got going on in general. So you shouldn't just approach a stranger and be like, hey, I'm depressed, please help me, if you don't know, like, that they can handle it. But also overall, that's better than being alone and doing regrettable things. I also, like, my life was saved by a stranger who I shouldn't have approached, which, to be fair, I was way too young. I was like 11 or 12, and I was like online in a video game, and I was just texting people going, hey, I'm lonely and depressed. Do you want to talk? And then the first person who responded to me, I was like, no, how can I say this without triggering? I let them know I was not doing well mentally. And then that kind of, like, now obviously looking back on that with a more mature mindset and also a more healthy mindset, I realized that I kind of trapped them in conversation, because if they at that point had declined to talk to me, they would have, like, been worried that, like, you know, something bad's gonna happen. So obviously that was a lot to put on them. And that was not fair of me, but also really helped. Probably saved my life. And now we're good friends. Still. So that did something at least. Anyway, right. So I'm gonna catch up more with chat again. Oh, Bearded said I've seen that guy in comments on here on Instagram. Oh boy. I know that he's, like, sent, like that he's posted comments on Instagram, like, a year or so ago. Like, telling, like, just going, like, I'm lonely, please respond to my DMs. I forgot about that, actually, right? Yeah, like, on every post I made, it was just like, I'm lonely, please talk to me. And I'm just thinking, like, dude, please go to therapy. I'm pretty sure I responded to one at one point also going, like, do you have anyone you can talk to? And I also mean professionally. I don't mean just, like, friends-wise. But yeah, in general, yeah. Okay, scrolling down. Buy a body pillow, Bearded says. That's also advice. Maybe that helps. Yeah, who knows? Oh boy. But yeah, guilt trip indeed. But that happens every once in a while. Some people just are feeling so unwell that they take advantage of other people's kindness and offers and whatever, and the best way to do that is to try and hit them in the feels, to guilt trip them, or to hit them where it hurts. If they, like, if I know, like, if I've shared something vulnerable online, I know that someone would use that against me, which is, like, sad and makes things obviously, like, less of an open place and less trustworthy of a place. But there's always just going to be people like that, and you shouldn't let yourself be discouraged by that. You should still be kind, and you should still be open and offer up your time and your heart to people if you have the capacity to, because it's worth it to be kind. Also, Beard, no, that's never what you're gonna come off like if you message, quote unquote, too much. Never, because you wouldn't guilt trip me, and you wouldn't demand, like, you wouldn't tell me, hey, respond to me right now. Like, that's way different than you sending me a message every day, like, asking me how I'm doing. Like, that's a way different level of urgency and of selflessness versus selfishness. Like, even if you're demanding my attention in the sense of like you're messaging every day, so you would like to talk to me every day, like it's still like, obviously if we use the example of you asking me how I'm doing, right, that shows more of an interest in you than, sorry, in me, than in like you going, oh, I want your attention. And even if you send me like a meme every day, that's just you trying to share something. And that's not demanding my attention. I know, like, or I can imagine that if I don't like respond for a week or two or even longer, that you would be like sad about that, or that you would be worried about that. You're like, oh, you know, now she hasn't been responding for a while. What if something happened? Or she must be really busy and stressed. Like, then I obviously think about that and I'm like, oh, I don't want people to worry, so I want to respond quicker. But I would never think, based on any of like those messages, like, oh my god, this guy wants me to respond here and now, and I have to, and he needs my attention, and I'm obligated to respond to this, and if I don't, something terrible happens. Again, if you want to know that I'm okay, that is way, like, different of a way of demanding attention than going, respond to me now. I'm lonely. Text me. You know, like, also, we have a way different relationship than this guy who comes into my DMs as a stranger. You know, like, we have, what's the word? Oh, I have the specific word in my head. Report? No. Hang on. No, okay, it is rapport. I pronounced the T even though I shouldn't. But yeah, so like we have some kind of connection before that, as opposed to you just being someone I don't know at all, and I don't know what to expect at all, and I don't know what your life looks like at all. I don't know you at all, and then you're just like making demands. That's like way different. So like, even if you texted me and said, "Hey, I'm unhappy right now. I'm not doing great right now. I need to talk to you right now," that would be way different than a stranger saying that to me. Like, completely different. I'm Groot? What? Okay, whatever you say. I mean, hey, we can change your name to that as well. How's your grades? I don't know how the grades go in the US. It's like A to F, right? Is there any like any nuance still? We have like plus and minus? No. But to be fair, for the first few grades in my school, we didn't even have like so usually in Europe, and I mean, I don't know if in all of Europe, but definitely in Germany, you have numbers 1 till 6, and 1 is the best and 6 is the worst. But the first 4 or 5 years of my school, we didn't actually have numbers. We had text. So where the teachers were like, this student is like quiet and kind and attentive and good at listening, or this student is very rambunctious, this student is needing attention a lot. I don't know, just like describing things. So even if you were behaving badly, like they found a way to make it sound nice. Just for fear of like hurting your feelings, I guess. I don't fucking know. But yeah, that's kind of funny. Sorry, that was such a sidetrack. I just kind of thought of that. I'm glad that you like the name Breaded. We'll just go with Breaded then. You are bread and id. You are breaded. Man, bread is so good. I could go on another sidetrack of bread, but I'll spare you that, I guess. Netherlands is 1 till 10. Is 1 the best or 10 the best? Because, like, I can imagine either way. It's kind of like a point system. It's better, like, the more points you have, right? But if it's like, you know, first place, is the best versus, I mean, obviously it wouldn't be 10th place. You have 10 students in class, and then imagine, and then whoever's in 10th is just like the worst student of class, and whoever's in first is the best. Okay, 10 is perfect. Gotcha. So yeah, it's more of a points thing. That's good. Bread does go good with everything. Bread goes good with so many things. Bread is good on its own. Bread is good with soup. Bread is good with an Eintopf. Bread is good, like, with everything breaded. Pizza is great, and pizza is basically just bread with, like, tomato and cheese on top. Bread is everything. Bread is life. Except if you're American, you don't know how good bread truly is. Yeah. Hi, Mickey. Welcome. Or, well, Orpheus, whichever you prefer. I hope you have a good time at the concert and you stay safe and take care of yourself. If you're drinking, watch out for your drink. All that stuff. Pizza is an open-faced sandwich? That's a funny way of saying it, for sure. I think I'm gonna finish up stream soon, Frank, but thank you. I hope you have a relaxing time. And yeah, good night to you as well. But yeah, again, Americans, you don't know what bread is, like good bread. Unless you've made your own, I guess. Unless you've like made a good sourdough. Or something. Like, just store-bought bread that you have is sad, and I almost cried when I had it when I was visiting the US. You need to come to, in general, like, Europe, but especially Germany for good bread. We have all kinds of bread. We have all kinds of bread. We have bread rolls, we have dark bread and light bread, we have wheat bread and seed bread and I don't know all the grains, actually. We have dinkel and I've forgotten all the other grains in German as well now. Great, this is the perfect time to show. Oh, you write bakeries. Do you though? Okay, maybe it's because I didn't go to like a big enough city, because the city I went to did not have bakeries. They didn't have cafes, they didn't have bakeries, they didn't have anything like that. They just had like chains of stores, store chains, and it was sad bread. Very sad. Sad bread. Absolutely sad. Anyway. Bring bread and chocolate. I mean, I don't need to bring chocolate because I could just make it if I, like, brought it to you. I can also just make it where I am. That'll have it be fresher. But also, I don't know how fresh the bread is if I bring it, because, like, depending on where I travel to in the US, that's, like... I mean, if it's just one direct flight, which is very unlikely, that's, like, 12 hours already. And if it's, like, 2 or 3 flights, which, when I actually went to the US, it was 3 flights. Because I went from somewhere more remote to somewhere more remote in the US, so 1 flight to a big airport in Germany, and then from the big airport in Germany to the big airport in the US, and then from the big airport in the US to the small airport in the US. So 3 flights. And then that was more like, what, 18 hours? 20? Something like that. I mean, to be fair, one of the layovers was 8 hours, so that'll be a little bit. Anyway. I like baker... Okay, no. Baker sections in large stores are not like bakeries or cafes. Don't you ever say that to me again. I'll smack you. Because again, baker sections in stores are bad. They're just bad bread. They're sad bread. You have all the cookies and all the cakes and all the frostings and all the muffins and all the everything, but it's all just sugar. It's all sugar and sadness. And no good bread. No good bread. Okay, even if you said they're not the same, you said that you still have good bread because you have bakeries. And then you're like, okay, well, you know, the bakeries I mean are big sections in stores. No, that's still store-bought bread. You don't get it. Anyway, so I get passionate about bread, which is just totally in tune with my nationality. um, but yeah. Anyway, so bread. Also, I don't get the lag, but I mean, yeah, that happens. So I hope that wasn't too confusing then. Do you mean a soft pretzel? Because I know there's a... Okay, so when you say Brezel in German, that's gonna be like a bigger baked good, and it's like, it's soft, and it's with Lauge. This is when you have a dough, and then you briefly put it in this water mixture that has some other stuff that kind of like browns it in a way and makes it taste a certain way. And then that's, you know, the big soft pretzel that I think you guys get at like football games. I don't fucking know. Big soft pretzels. And then obviously there's the hard pretzels, the smaller things that you munch on, that you crunch on. German pretzels are the big soft kind. So yeah. We can make pretzels. We could just make them. Again, I mean, I've never made one before, but I feel like it's not that hard. Okay, I do believe you that you have bakeries. I mean, obviously there are bakers. It's not like the profession doesn't exist. But aren't they also like more just like focused on like cakes and things? I don't know. But yeah, we just have good bread at every corner. We have good bread in every store. We have nicely baked bread with a nice good crust and a nice soft inside in every store you go to, no matter how small it is. No matter. Pretzel making stream. Yeah, that would be so fun. I mean, there's so many things I want to make on stream. I want to cook and bake and make and everything. Like, there should be a stream for chocolate making and for bread making and for just baking and cooking and everything. Everything. But yeah, we'll do that sometime when I have a kitchen that works with that. So whenever I've moved, wish me luck still that works one day. Because otherwise I'm gonna go crazy soon. Very crazy. I'm already not surviving very well. Not very well. But yeah, anyway, right, sorry. It's funny that I called this stream Short Little Chat when it didn't turn out to be that at all. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun. Thank you guys for joining me. I hope you'll be there for the next stream again as well. You are very helpful. Thank you, Bearded. And yeah, you guys take care of yourselves. Get back to work, okay? Yeah, you specifically, Bearded. I don't know if anyone else is working while listening to this or watching this or whatever. Get to bed on time, you guys, and stay hydrated, drink enough water, have your good meals with nutritions. You need good nutritions. And yeah, I'll see y'all for either tomorrow's Patreon upload if you're on Patreon, for the Saturday stream on Twitch, or for the Sunday upload on YouTube. Be good till then, and take good care of yourselves. That's important to me. And yeah. Thanks, bye!